There would be no central market without the artist.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
Especially the portrait artists. They were the thing that make it different from any other places.
The original artists, they were all around that market. And then when it got bigger, we decided to kind of group them. The portrait corner, we call it.
That big wall, there was a huge painting. It was by an artist called Anwar Rashid. I consider him one of the best still.
And he was young then, right?
He was in his 20s, like we were.
We used to work here in Central Market. We used to be the management. I was one, I don't know whether your brother, your son, who was running it last time when it was over there.
You are?
Liz, L-I-Z.
Liz Hajidi.
That's right. You remember?
I'm
Hafsah.
Tom's daughter.
How are you?
Fine. Liz Hajidi, right?
That's right.
That's why I cannot recognize you. Changes a lot.
Oh, yes, it's been so long.
Yes, that's why I said, you say Liz, I know, Liz Hajidi.
Oh, thank you for remembering. Hafsah Saufi.
Yeah.
Now
already here 36 years, darling.
36 years, huh?
I started this in 85, only 6 months renovation. But anyway, but it still looks good. I'm glad the building is still here. Otherwise, gone.
Yeah. No,
Save it.
So what?
No, they were going to destroy the building.
Antara pengalaman pertama saya tentang Pasar Seni ataupun Central Market, CM, ialah waktu saya tingkatan 3 pergi ke pusat tuition kasturi depan Central Market. Masa tu first time naik LRT tahun pertengahan 90-an dengan kawan-kawan. Itu zaman bebas, zaman wow, mak ayah bagi naik LRT pergi ke Central Market. So pergi tuition and then petang-petang lepak dengan kawan-kawan, lepas tu balik. So dia pengalaman yang walaupun tak jauh dari Bangsa pergi ke Central Market, tapi dia masih rasa macam ada rasa pembebasan sikitlah masa tu.
Oh, back then, Petaling Street is very organic, very lively, very neighborhood, and a very communities driven. And we know each other very well, and they know each other very well. Who give birth, who died, and who moved to who, and even though who is having an affair, okay? And I like it so much. In this area, basically, you can still see some old trades are still carrying on. The reason why I start Old China Cafe with my partner is because we step inside this Selangor Laundry Association. And we would like to acquire that pair of feng shui mirror and with some artifacts and table and chair. We went inside, we immediately fell in love because the set, it is so Wong Kar-wai. Yeah, and it's just like a film set, you know.
Ini dulu ni, ini semuanya kedai ikan masin ni. Buah bawang, kedai roncit. Ini ingat lagi. Aku jalan sini, di sana, ini pasar basah. Ini kedai ikan masin. Sekarang dah jadi Yusof dan jadi nasi kandar. Daripada kedai ikan masin jadi nasi kandar. Inilah perkembangan Malaysia. Saya datang sini, kerana sana tu jalan Pertigaan Bah Jalan Sultan. Jadi Sultan, saya numpang rumah kakak saya dekat sini. Jadi jalan sini ini orang tak panggil Pasar Seni, orang panggil Pasar Basah Kuala Lumpur. Ini Pasar Basah, ini dalam ni ikan, daging semua ni. Bila masuk universiti, saya datang sini nak tengok jalan-jalan je lah. Masuk kat universiti tak ada duit, inilah hiburan dia, tengok ke pasar. Kata duit, tengok ikan masin. Itulah cerita dia.
Another thing about this place, remember right, Fendi? We know, right, if you don't need to call anyone, because those days don't have phone anyway, but you'll know that your friend gonna be here. So whatever happens, I mean, when let's say you work, like some friends I will work at a Colgate, like Kilang somewhere in some way, whatever, they would know, you just come, because by about 5:36, there'll be friends hanging out, you know, or even people that you might become friends with, you know what I mean? And that's the best thing about it. It's like very open. And our band...
It's like a meet-up point. So the kids from East Coast or from South or from the North, the meet-up point is you go there, there'll be some similar interest kids that will hang out there. You look for them, you know, how you recognize them by T-shirts or whatever, by the appearance.
T-shirts very important.
Yeah.
What band T-shirt that you're wearing? Then, okay, this is our kin, you know what I mean? We never call it Pasar Seni anyway. It's always CM. Yeah, you know, when you say CM, you don't say Central Market even, you say CM. You know, and that's how, the family, I mean, call it the CM, you know.
Yeah. Pergi mana? Pergi CM.
Jom CM, you know.
My favorite thing is the whole Central Market itself, because that's where my father he put his vision to put all walks of people into one place. He's really passionate over it. So my father always had a vision to actually use Central Market as a platform to empower Malaysia's platform to showcase their art and craft to the world.
I think it's important first to understand how the town emerged, right? In the sense that the early pioneers led by Raja Abdullah and Abdullah Hukum, people who were spearheading the efforts towards tin mining. And they navigated all the way up from, Klang into this confluence. And they brought in the people who were needed to support the mining activities. Though there were people present in this place as kampongs, Malay villages, the Rawa community and so on, characteristics of a tin mine town, where it was, you can call it, it felt like being in a wild, wild west. But rather there had a certain spontaneity and chaos. So the confluence of the two rivers brought diversity of people. And in fact, in the earlier period, the river was used actively to bring in goods. Then also you had people even trading from the riverside. So on the back of that, you had an early formation of marketplace, as we know now, Market Street, that eventually then grew to become a major market district, where you saw the wet market, you saw the dry goods place, you saw the flower market. So we had textile, jewelry, and like everything else that made a very interesting mosaic of what made the city. The wooden market was then replaced with a formal market, and that was the roots. The market was very integrally part of the society, meaning that it was the main market that served the larger Kuala Lumpur, as Kuala Lumpur emerged from being a British administrative hub to eventually a young nation's capital.
呢間公司嘅開張咧就係1968年，對面嗰個 Central Market 係嗰啲菜市，之前我哋叫巴塞啊，即係賣雞魚嗰啲嘅，好熱鬧。嗰時嗰啲酒樓啊，嗰啲師傅時頭咧，佢哋多數係嚟對面嗰度採購賣菜、賣魚嗰啲，喺好多檔口嚟賣魚、賣肉、賣菜、賣生果啊。山地面都俾人有。我哋都係屬於喺呢度長大咗。細嗰時都成日睇到嗰啲巴沙嗰啲人啊，即係3點幾4點半夜啊，就攞嚟落貨嗰啲攞料嚟落貨咗。嗰個情形真係而家都睇唔到咗㗎啦。
Kuala Lumpur became very successful with a small population of 500,000 at the point of independence of Malaysia. And as the city grew, we saw that people started to spill out to other parts of Kuala Lumpur. While this remained as a central market, as a distribution hub, there were many more new markets emerged. As the city became much more complex and much more developed, around it was the stock exchange, center of government, many ministries were around, the banking hub was all here. As the city progressed, the needs of the city overwhelmed and forced a transition for the market to reinvent itself. So that is when we saw that in the 80s, the debate about keeping the market, restoring the market.
1983 was the year there were 7 of us led by Zehan Al-Bakri, two architecture students, myself, Gina Samsudin, journalist Lamsek Fad, and we had Denden Majid and Raja Iskandar, curator Huang Mei Wan. Two of us were working in BEP Architect, and we saw the proposal for 2 towers over Central Market thing, and we decided that we should try and save it. Zehan, through the father, Kumpulan Architect, was able to do a fantastic presentation along with a video of Covent Garden. We actually presented to the mayor then, which is actually Dr. Ilyas Omar, Minister of Federal Territories, Syaril Samad, and then the Prime Minister, Mahathir. Yeah. I think 85 was a major recession that time. Yes. And I've heard about what you guys have did, Friends of Heritage, because I know Zehan very well. And I said
we were all members as well.
Yeah. And so I was working for him then. And it was a company that was buying old houses where we redid it and sell it as a new property. And I said, why don't we take over Hartabumi?
Yes,
Why don't we do something with the Central Market? I said, Tunku Abdullah did a presentation to Dr. Mahathir then, and he liked the idea. So the saying was when, Dr. Gopo Sek, who was instrumental in, he was one of the shareholders and also consultant for the project. He did Clarke Quay and Emerald Hill in Singapore. Now, the whole idea was to bring life back into the old part of KL. And there is no, a city without old buildings is like a man without memories. I think the saying is so apt. Nothing was planned. There was no master plan. It was so organic.
What I'd like to inject here, Hal, is that Tunku Abdullah, as a businessman, if you have a 7-year lease and 6 months to finish the project, you would not have taken it on. But
not viable.
Yeah, not viable.
No, completely.
Yeah. But Hafsa was the one that kind of persuaded him.
I think it was a bit of a CSR kind of thing. Yeah. Although CSR wasn't used then. It was a recession. And the thing that we did that was really, really I'm proud of was also helping young people who had no jobs then. But we had, because they were like graduate, people who had art degrees. Yes, they were doing incredible hand-painted T-shirts, clay models, everything. It was so vibrant. You'd walk in every day, there's something new. And people were there like working but not really, but having fun.
Saya dulu-dulu K90, dulu kiok saja kat bawah. K96, K95, dekat bawah tu ada kiok. Jadi kita sewa yang bawah. Dulu ramai student lah, student ITM. Jadi dia orang kata, okey, kita minta dapat. Tapi kita kalau nak berniaga, kita bayarlah hari-hari. Itu sebulan, kita bayar je, kita berani je. Kita dulu ramai dalam ni semua budak-budak muda. Dulu-dulu lain, kita suka dulu-dulu. Dulu kita ada buat craft, tulis-tulis. Tak ada kat dalam ni, tulis-tulis. Tulis macam keychain cawan. Lepas tu kita ada jual alat muzik. Macam kompang, kita ada jual. Tapi kan peredaran zaman, orang dah tak nak dah tu. Jadi kita tukar. Jadi, takkan kita semua nak buat craft. Apa kata kita belajar menjahit? Apa kata kita belajar menjahit kan? Kita try. Tengok-tengok, cuba-cuba boleh. Mula-mula memang teruk. Kita tekap, tak lurus. Jadi, biasalah customer kan. Kenapa sengit? Tak apa. Nanti kita boleh cakap dengan bos, boleh pulang balik. Kita tak mengakulah kita buat. Malu kan? Jadi, lama-lama kata suami, takkan selama-lamanya you BODOH. Dia tak cakap, tapi dia eja. Jadi kita sakit hati, kita belajar. Sebenarnya kita langsung tak belajar menjahit. Tak ada pengalaman pun menjahit. Tapi sekarang Alhamdulillah, kita boleh jahit, kita boleh repair mesin, kita nak buat sendiri semua. 1987. Tu ada tarikh. Kalau orang tak percaya, kita ada tarikh. Kan? Tahun 1987.
So there were points in time during about 1988 when I first came in to join in, hang out with those guys, and the scene start growing, younger people start coming in. And instead of just thrash metal or death metal, then start to have punks and you got kids who are into indie pop and all this industrial music. So in terms of the musicality of it started to broaden. I think one of the best times that I remember when I put up my fanzine, right? So the fanzine is fresh from the press, and you just staple it at home, you know? It's like an A5, it's A4, fold it into A5 and staple it in the middle, put it in a bag and bring it to Central Market, bring it to Hamid or something, or even restaurant you served before. The best thing is when they start, everybody just got it, and I would just stand there, everybody goes quiet, and everybody was reading the fanzine. For me, it's like, wow, you know? That was so good, you know?
Okay, so basically this is the minibus. What I remember is number 14. I think from the minibus from either from Pertama complex, will stop here. All the roll minibus, and Srijaya is near Bangkok Bank.
The Srijaya bus.
Srijaya bus, Bangkok Bank, and you can go to Lebo Ampang, Lengsang, and
the Lensa you can over there.
Main Srijaya bus stop from Klang.
Yeah, bus stand Klang.
Bus stand Klang or Ulu Klang.
Yeah.
From that side. Yeah.
Just why it's called Central Market anyway.
Central Market is the first adaptive reuse project in Malaysia and the most successful. Yeah. Like what they did in the Covent Garden, Fisherman's Wharf, and the first big food court that was modern. Yeah. All under one roof. It's the biggest example of Art Deco building in the region.
Yeah.
Look at this green paint.
Colorex
They were
glass.
the original ones from India.
And whenever we broke one, it was so difficult to get a replacement because nobody made them anymore.
So much to learn from this building. I love the Children's Day in Central Market. Unfortunately, I don't have the picture, but there's always an artist or so would come by, you know. Yeah. And the most famous one was, of course, Ibrahim Hussein then. Yeah. He was just such a humble man. He would then, just without any fanfare, nothing, would sit down with the children, teach them how to do potato print, you know.
Is it on ground floor or
outside, on the tika?
Oh, on the painting.
Yes.
Wow. But I think your programming was very intensive. I remember it was almost every weekend.
No, every night.
Every night also,
every
right?
Night there was a show, rain or shine, 7:45.
Back then, you don't have this. You don't have this
LRT.
walkway thing, you know. You just read the river, you know. And then on that side, there's a stage there where they would do staging of dancers. And I remember Dike Barat, Dike Karut, Mak Yong, Wayang Kulit, you know. So almost every time there'll be, you know, things happening there. And then we would hang out at the restaurant Yusuf or Hamid and just go out and then watch what's happening.
You see how, where is my pentas benteng? Where is it?
Because macam lah tak ada tempat lain buat train.
You know. See what happens after we left? Yeah, but this was where it was all happening. Do you remember the outdoor seating?
Yes.
When they wouldn't have outdoor seating.
We brought life back to the river.
That's right, yeah.
Yep.
So the stage was here and all the mats were here. That was it.
Ella, Emmy Search, Sheila Majid, everyone wanted to perform
And
here.
I was telling them the story when rap came to be kind of, you know, popular. I did rap, street dance, break dance competition. You know, and I got people like Ramli Ibrahim to be judges. What's his name? Our friend from Hard Rock, you know, just to be the judges. And the contestant that did and won was KRU.
Okay, so basically this area is a busking area. Maybe sometimes they start around 4 o'clock. We'll see a few buskers around here until late night, basically.
And it's also a road. I mean, cars pass by, so you have to like step away from the. Step away from the.
Remember the raft competition?
Yes! So we did, I think for World Environment Day, a raft competition on the Sungai Kelang. So we got teams to make their own raft. They released them there, and then they floated down here. So the finishing line was here.
And then two rafts collided and somebody fell. I think we had to put him to hospital.
We were worried about what he consumed. At that time, the river was filthy. For the, the flyers, that we started with 5,000 copies. By the time I finished with Central Market, which was 8 years later, we were printing 37,000 copies.
Sebagai rakyat biasa, sebagai ahli parlimen, sebagai menteri pun, kita perlukan lebih banyak ruang macam Central Market, macam Pasar Seni, supaya orang yang berminat untuk berniaga dia ada tempat, orang yang minat untuk berjalan-jalan, bersia-sia pun ada tempat, orang yang nak tempat persinggahan bila hujan lebat pun ada tempat, orang yang nak mencari pasangan hidup pun ada tempat, orang yang nak cari tempat makan sekejap pun ada tempat. Biar ada tempat lah. Kan? So, saya nampak kita perlukan lagi banyak tempat macam ni. Tapi, dia bukan shopping mall. Dia bukan tempat yang ada aircon semua tempat. Tapi di tempat yang open dan membolehkan ramai datang. Dia very democratic. Itu yang kita perlukan.
From my father's vision to current vision is actually a collective effort from Central Market team, led DNA Miss Nani and Dato' Hamdan from Think City. I'd like to extend the gratitude to the teams where they put a lot of collective effort and time to kind of turn to Central Market where it is today.